All right, we got the greatest sellouts in YouTube history. Oh dang, maybe I can know some of them.
What happens when a once unknown YouTuber or streamer finally achieves the fame and fortune that they desperately craved? Would they stay true to the fans that elevated their life beyond their wildest dreams?
Probably
or would
not.
they throw it all away for short-term greed? Let's find out.
Probably the other one.
It's your boy Rice flavored gum. You can call me Brian, that's my real name, because all you guys are, my subscribers.
Bro, that's crazy. I didn't realize that Rice Gum was a like a COD bro back in the day. What happened?
When you look back at Ricegum's early start on YouTube and Twitch, it's hard to believe that he'd become as hated as he is today. Back in 2012, Ricegum had just started his YouTube channel and was mostly uploading gameplay of his favourite games such as Call of Duty. His content wasn't very polished. Then again, at this time, that was true for all gameplay channels.
Yeah.
But Ricegum...
He seems like so innocent, just doing like gameplay uploads. Like, hey guys, what's up? I popped off on these couple games. Let's see what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe below. All that jazz.
was trying to build a brand entirely on his own personality. Just a young guy sharing his story. But even at this early stage, you could see that Ricegum was focused on success. He was trying to copy what was making other YouTubers successful in order to get views himself.
I told you.
Oh, that's fair.
About the gameplay. What I do want to talk about is my life story, and I'm gonna do a lot of these because these are funny, and I know a lot of YouTubers do this, and they get really good responses on them.
However, at a time where everyone was trying to do the same thing, it would take years for him to see any substantial subscriber growth.
Dang.
After all, there was nothing that really made him special. He was just another guy playing COD, trying to stand out. Unlike his peers,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Though, the gameplay wasn't what mattered. He wasn't using his gamer abilities to try and grow. Instead, he was using the gameplay as a backdrop and a vehicle to push himself. Which is why when React content started to appear on the platform, it wasn't long before Ricegum jumped on that ship, seeing it as an easier path to fame and riches. And he was right. In 2015, he got his wish and his channel started to blow up by reacting to prank videos.
Kissing prank, close your eyes. Crazy for...
I mean, this is still like not even that bad. So you did like some gameplay stuff and you couldn't stand out. I mean, who cares? And then you did like some React stuff. I mean, like at this point, he's not really hurting anybody.
For love, it's a girl prank. Alright, so yeah, so most pranks are guys pranking random people, bada.
And when I say blow up, I mean he went from less than 100,000 views per month to 40 million views per month in less than half a year. Taking him from complete obscurity to one of the largest channels on the entire platform in terms of viewership. And the video that got the ball rolling was his "These Kids Must Be Stopped," which reached 15 million views.
What?
Yo, miss me with that gay shit. What the fuck? Yo, everyone that's watching right now is probably pissed as fuck because like you didn't dodge it. Like you literally just got kissed by this guy.
Following this,
Okay, maybe he's like in character right now. And it's like he's not really responsible for what he says, so he just says dumb shit. I mean, whatever.
Ricegum began to experience
You're probably like more likely to like just say like random ass shit just for the sake of getting a reaction out of someone. And when you say something like that, like, oh, you guys literally got kissed, it's like, well, to like, if your main audience is like younger kids, then yeah, they're gonna be like, oh no, dude, oh no, I did not. But like, if you're like an older person, it's like, what are you saying? This is stupid. I'm clicking off of this. Bye.
Exponential growth on the channel, reaching 5 million subscribers by 2016 in just a year, and eventually 10 million overall. At this point in time, people really liked Ricegum. Despite doing personality-based videos that were mostly making jokes and having fun, he didn't come across as a dick. He hadn't said anything really too controversial, and people even considered him to be humble. Very quickly though, the fame and the money showed the fans that they were very, very wrong.
What happened?
Ricegum started to surface.
And basically, I don't know, I got kind of like, I told this dude no, I don't want it, and then like I was like drunk.
No, but did it feel good?
Uh-oh.
At this point,
Oh, the sexual harassment stuff. Oh, always with the sexual harassment.
the new content direction for the channel, and therefore Ricegum as a human being, changed entirely. No longer was it about having fun, it was about causing drama with other YouTubers, creating diss tracks, and generally flexing the wealth that he now possessed. But
it's like this style of content, I'm not gonna lie, like I used to like this as a little kid, when like some young person had like exotic cars and like beautiful girls just like right next to him. Like as a little kid, I used to watch Ricegum. And for some reason, whatever, I just grew out of it. I mean, and what, like your most what, marketable, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not marketable, maybe profitable, impressionable audience age range is probably going to be skew on the younger side, like 18 and under.
even now, it seemed like Ricegum was untouchable. A good example of this would be Ricegum and Gabby Hanna.
Hey Ricegum, I just challenged you to a live battle on Snapchat. Would you do it? No. Live rap battle. Why wouldn't you do it?
No, I don't want to do it.
Alright, so Ricegum have his ghostwriter today.
Okay, so this looks like he's at a party and he's probably like high on something.
It's fine. I think we can still battle. I think we're good. Okay, so update. Sorry if it looks like I'm crying. Ricegum didn't think that joke was very funny, and he hit me in the middle of a party and shattered my phone. I can show you that in a sec. Everybody's like, did he hit you? And I was like, yeah, he did.
Weeks prior to
Oh Jesus, bro, this is just another reason like I don't go out for parties. Like if you go out to like a party, like it's okay to go out and party with like you and your friends and you know each other, but somebody, like the moment you introduce like a stranger into the friend group, it's like, oh God, what are they gonna do? And especially because I don't know, that seemed like some sort of like influencer party type deal, because she's like freely just like trying to record something, get some content. That seemed like an influencer party. Bro, bro, you just don't know what the fuck is going on.
this, Gabby and Ricegum were having a bit of a back and forth, which had now escalated to assault allegations. Usually, at least now, this type of situation would mark the end of a creator's career. But that wasn't the case for Ricegum. He had a massive fan base and extreme levels of clout, which allowed him to walk away from the controversy almost unscathed.
Dang.
But this was a clear sign that things were going to go downhill from here.
Uh-oh.
Essentially, the entire incident gave Ricegum the idea he was untouchable, that no matter what he did, his audience would always be there to back him up. And for a while, he was totally right. After all, people liked Ricegum for who he was and had been growing up right alongside him for multiple years now. They felt that they really knew him, and that a bit of drama wasn't the biggest deal. That they could
like, I watched like a little bit of Ricegum, but I mean, I watched some of his videos when he was like flexing like his wealth and shit, but for like whatever reason I just stopped watching. I got bored of it, and I don't know, the reality just set in of like, I'm just gonna change the channel. It's pretty much like how it goes in my head. It's like whenever I'm just bored of watching like some sort of content, I'm just like, okay, I'm bored of this, I'm done with this. I mean, yeah, the formula is working for you as the creator, but for me, I'm just like, I'm tired of this, I'm out. I mean, if it was working, like, you don't gotta, what's the saying? You don't change what's not broke, or don't fix what's not broke, or whatever. I mean, if that formula of like flexing and partying and shit is working for him, why change?
see through it all and knew that he was better than this. But as soon as the fame, popularity, and riches got to him, people started to realize that that was exactly who he was. The once humble creator,
impressionable.
Who shared his
I think that's what I
funny
meant.
content, was now flexing his shoe collection.
Red October's Fragment 1.
I never understood this. Maybe because I was always like a poor, frugal person. I never understood like people that collect, like, I don't know what they're called, like shoeies, sneakies, or something. People that like collect like thousands of dollars of shoes and shit. I'm just like, this is rich people shit. I don't got money. I'm not rich. This isn't relatable. I'm out of this shit.
Off-white Nike, white Yeezys that are actually dirty because I actually wear them. Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, more Yeezys, Off-white Air Maxes, and more Yeezys, and one last pair of Yeezys.
Naturally, Ricegum's viewership and subscriber growth stagnated. His audience wasn't interested in gawking at mansions or fancy clothes.
Yeah.
They wanted to see a relatable creator that put time and effort into their content. Unfortunately,
Oh, this is probably like a paid actor, and he's just like doing this. This is not. This is type of shit you see like in a cartoon. Like you can get away with this in a cartoon and it'll look fine, but when you do it in real life, it doesn't translate so well, in my opinion.
the old Rice Gum is no more, and his online career would follow shortly after. On the 31st of December 2018, Rice Gum uploaded the now infamous How I Got AirPods for $4 video, which will go down in YouTube history as one of the most shameless promotions of all time.
So, all right, yo, these are kind of fire. And then I have the option to sell it back if I don't want it. But I bought the box for $60. I can sell it back for $140. So I low-key made a profit. Yo, I'm gonna hang on to them. I'm gonna just open up another one.
In this 11-minute video, Rice Gum had done irreparable damage to his own brand and proved that he no longer cared about his audience at all. He went from being broke and thankful that he was lucky enough to have an audience at all.
I got really lucky, and
The apology. I never even seen this.
you know, I got lucky.
Wasn't that thing a scam? That like box opening shit? It was like he was just like a partner for like the real business or whatever. And he knew the chances, and like whenever you do like an ad video or an ad stream, it's like the chances are obviously rigged to like show you opening boxes, and you just like get tons of like good items and whatnot. So it's like it's rigged, it's a scam. And for me, like how I don't know, like I go about in life, and this is probably gonna sound like really stupid and petty, but the moment somebody, like obviously people can change and shit, and which is fine. You like what's that saying? Or maybe it's not a saying. It was like a study. Your mind changes every 7 years or something like that. But like when someone does like some bad shit and it's like all over everywhere, and it'll just completely depend, you know, and there's like layers and levels to it. Like for people that scam, there's just like a short list. Well, not really a short list. There's like a list in my head of people that I don't actively remember, but they're like in my subconscious. It's like if I see a name, I'll be like, that's a scam guy. He's dog shit. Don't do anything with him. Just ignore. It's like guy or not even a guy. It'll be like, I'll just remember a person and they'll be like, this is the person. I forgot what they did actually, but at the time I was like really interested. So it'll be like guy, maybe what they did, and then just ignore. Like it's an active, or maybe it's a passive, like just block list I just store in my head. And maybe that's taking up like too much brain power. But I mean, I'm not actively thinking about this, but like, it's like if somebody flashes a name in front of me, I'll just be like, ignore. I mean, it is whatever. I mean, I don't feel like it's what do you call it? I don't feel like it's like hampering my, like how I live and think though.
That I ran into you guys.
To being filthy rich and totally out of touch with why anyone watched him in the first place. It was very clear now, the only thing that mattered was making him just a little bit more rich, and if he had to give his young, impressionable audience a crippling gambling addiction to do so, well, so be it. Just the cost of doing business, I guess. Of course, fans...
Yeah, because not only was he scamming people, his target audience was little kids.
Can sometimes forgive a struggling creator making some bad decisions to make a little bit of money, but that clearly wasn't the case here. Rice Gum was incredibly wealthy. He had more money he could ever spend in his lifetime, in his kid's lifetime, and that still wasn't enough for him to stop. Of course, this chapter of his story wouldn't be complete without a classic YouTuber apology video. Rice Gum addressed the controversy, in which his defense was that other people did it, so why is it a big deal that he did it too, as well?
Did he drop names? He probably didn't. They never drop names. They don't want to take out the inner circle of their friend group of all over 1 million YouTuber subscribers. and they're all in on the scam. They're all in on the joke. They're all in. They're all like boys together. And yeah.
Well as explaining that they offered him tons of money, which of course then makes it okay, right?
But anyways, he made the same type of video, like 3 months ago. No one said anything. It wasn't a problem back then.
The cherry on the cake, though, is that his solution to those actions was to post Amazon gift cards in the video, essentially throwing pennies at the peasants from his castle filled with gold.
There's nothing I can
Oh,
do
jeez.
but say sorry and give you these Amazon gift cards. So I'm sorry, it just wouldn't happen again. Amazon codes $10 to $20, just a little giveaway. It's the least I can do.
Yeah. Emphasis on little. Oh my god. Look at all these fucking like hand gestures he's doing. Like, bro, what are you doing? You know what this feels like? This feels like a digital version of like when he was like throwing the money on the homeless dude. That's what it feels like. Jesus. And he was probably pretty young when he did this. I mean, I don't know.
To say, Ricegum knew his time in the sun was coming to an end. Angry.
Usually, you don't make the best. Like in certain situations, you don't make the best like situation or like the best judgment in certain situations when you're younger. So like I don't know how old he was when he did this, but I mean I'm not trying to like excuse him just because I'm not trying to excuse his actions because I mean he is obviously like older than 18 and he is an adult. But I mean, you know what? You're like what was it? What do they say? The doctors and science says it's like your brain isn't even fully formed, or your brain's not done growing until you're age 25. So maybe he was in between that like 18 to 25 range. Maybe he's like 23, 24 here. And still, that's not a good excuse. I mean, by law, you're still fucking like an adult. But when I was 18, I was a complete dumbass. So,
comments from fans on anything he posted, and almost weekly exposed videos made being on the platform incredibly difficult for him. I mean, if you look at his earliest video as a 15-year-old talking about Call of Duty, it's just full of comments dissing him. This led to Ricegum posting less and less frequently, until finally it looked like he'd given up on the platform entirely. That is until he appeared out of nowhere to promote a now infamous cryptocurrency pump and dump scam called Save the Kids, alongside
I remember
other
this.
disgraced content creators.
yeah, this is another group of people that I have on like the mental short list. And it's, if I think about it, it's like, this is like a stupid way to live. But I mean, the reality is like everybody doesn't have like the best intentions in real life, not always. So you kind of have to like, you know, have your guard up in certain situations. So it's just like a subconscious thing. Like this was a fucking rug pull. God damn.
Creators.
Save the Kids token.
Save the Kids token.
Now, when you consider just how successful Ricegum was in his time on the platform, it's obvious he will never have to work a day in his life. He will live wealthy for the rest of his days.
Yeah.
He could have used his platform for good, continuing to be popular, well-liked and respected. Instead, he let the fame, fortune and clout infect his mind like so many other creators who blew up overnight and started living a life that exposed their worst qualities. At least for Ricegum though, he didn't try to hide who he was or what he was doing, as it was painfully obvious to everyone watching that he was out of touch.
What was that movie? There was a really good movie where like, what was it? Was either the bad guy or the good guy? I think it was like the bad guy. But the quote was like, "Why should I hide who I really am?" And I don't know. I just feel like that applies here.
His downfall was right there for everybody to see, and it wasn't some underground, hidden, shadowy expose that brought him down. He was just true to himself until the very end, which is more than can be said for some other influencers on this list.
Welcome to another episode of Unbox Therapy. Today is
What is
a
this?
very exciting day.
Lewis from Unbox Therapy started his career in December 2010 with videos of himself unboxing high-end tech products like laptops, speakers, and smartphones. The name of his channel, Unbox Therapy, told viewers all they needed.
I have never seen this guy, but with 21 million subs, I get it. I do like the unboxing. Like, there's some sort of utility there. Like, if you're buying like a new tech piece. You want to see what's inside before you buy it. It's like, oh, just maybe unbox therapy, probably unbox it to show you and give like a little quickie like review type deal. So there's some utility there, and it is like kind of like a satisfying thing. You know, like a hot knife cutting through butter or something like that. You know, those like satisfying videos to watch. So he's like checking a couple boxes just in like one type of video. So I get it. But what was the downfall?
To know, a well-edited unboxing experience combined with witty commentary, a formula that many other channels would draw inspiration from going forward. At the time though, the tech niche on YouTube wasn't as saturated as it is today, so it wasn't difficult for Lewis to stand out and make a name for himself. In fact, he's considered a pioneer in the space, alongside creators like MKBHD, Mr. Who's the Boss, and Linus Tech Tips. Channels that went on to amass tens of millions of subscribers and billions of views.
Dang.
These channels bridged the gap between what came before them. They struck a balance that provided enough information while being fun to watch, even if you had no interest in the current tech on display. Viewers were both helped with decisions about their future purchases, as well as entertained. A viewer-created dynamic that was based on trust and, most importantly, transparency. However, as the years went on, Lewis' trustworthiness would be called into question.
What was the downfall?
As he put his personal gain over the well-being of his audience.
So it only makes sense to give some back to a lucky subscriber.
Uh-oh.
Or maybe a few lucky subscribers. So many of you want a new phone. This might be your chance to get one. Just make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. Let me know which color you like best.
In early 2016, Lewis published a video of himself.
Bro, like what kind of video? Like what kind of phone is that? And how much is one phone? And how many phones are here? Like, holy shit. If this is like actually like real, this is like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of just phones.
Next to a literal truckload of iPhone boxes,
iPhones, okay,
stating he was going to give away a few of those phones to lucky members of his audience. The video received over 10 million views.
Damn.
In the eyes of everyone watching, it looked like he intended to give away all of the iPhones shown in the video, something that was completely unheard of. The only requirement for entering this giveaway was to follow and engage with Unbox Therapy on all social media platforms, which is not uncommon for a giveaway. Essentially, it's turning those purchases, which are probably tax write-offs anyway, into reach on social media by having people like and retweet and follow your platforms. Unfortunately though, what people came to realize is that there was something fishy with the giveaway. It seemed like only a handful of phones had been given away compared to the truckload that was originally advertised.
Okay, is that like the scamming part? I mean, I don't know. On the surface, that doesn't seem that bad.
Many began to theorize that the boxes were in fact all empty, since they didn't have the protective seal that was present on iPhone boxes at the time.
Oh,
shit! A brand new iPhone 6s or 6s Plus in the box has a plastic wrap around it, which is sealed right here, and you can see a line running across the box. In the case of Mr. Lou, you will notice there are no such lines on the boxes.
Oh, shit!
Present on iPhone boxes at the time.
A brand new iPhone 6s or
6s
Plus in the box has a plastic wrap around it, which is sealed right here, and you can see a line running across the box. In the case of Mr. Lou, you will notice...
Bro, I thought something looked kind of off with these boxes, but I just didn't know what. I'm like, oh my god, he fucking ordered all of these and took the phones out? And what did he do? Just put like a little brick in there or something? Like it's about the same weight ratio as like a phone? Same shape as a phone? What?
There are no such lines on the boxes. This means he allegedly bought hundreds of empty iPhone boxes to stage the giveaway.
Now, the idea of a YouTuber using over-the-top visuals to clickbait their audience isn't uncommon, of course, it's part of the game. But in this case, with it being a giveaway, it seemed to many people that he was intentionally misleading the loyal viewers in order to just gain more subscribers and, of course, ad revenue. And
yeah, that does seem kind of scummy, but I mean, he's not really hurting anybody. But it is kind of scummy.
So you could make a semantic argument that from his perspective, as long as he didn't say, I'm giving away this specific truckload of iPhones, then it was on the viewer to determine that this was just clickbait, and that the number of iPhones didn't matter so long as some were given away. That of course is not how people see things generally, so he was rightfully called out by commentary channels and the tech community at large, which at this point, the best course of action would be a mea culpa. To just admit fault, to apologize, to be a human being to an audience who watched.
So he had what? He had a truckload of phones, or at least a truckload of boxes, but only gave out 9 phones? I mean, yeah, it's like, he's not really extracting money from people. He's just extracting, like, engagement with people. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, ill-informed on, like, engagement in social media.
You solely for that quality. But Lewis decided instead to double down.
But I wanted to do more. Problem was, I was having all kinds of trouble with fulfillment. I mean, I have a back and forth DM with some guy from Latvia.
Yep, look at all the boxes with no plastic seal line.
Who won. It ended up taking us over a month to get him the right phone, and a winner in India where...
Yeah, don't touch any of these boxes. Your little pyramid might fall.
I just ended up buying the phone off Amazon and sending it to them directly just because I didn't want to be bothered with sending one of these.
And look at him try to, like, sell that little frame with, like, how much he's, like, moving and shit in there.
Then on top of that, the scammers, the fraudsters...
Still gotta talk with your hands.
Other individuals' inboxes on YouTube claiming that they had won in order to extract information from them and exploit them or get credit card info.
He blamed the lack of winners on scammers as well as shipping issues, which could well have been true, but it didn't really address some of the issues.
Oh shit.
Nor is that anybody else's fault. If you plan a giveaway of this scale, you should really have these things in hand.
Yeah.
Also, just to be clear as to why...
Yeah, I'm not giving away any fucking iPhones, bros. Just get that out of your head.
People were mostly upset about this. It's that Lewis and Unbox Therapy spent weeks dangling this iPhone giveaway over his subscribers, constantly delaying winner announcements, asking for more and more subscriptions, retweets, and more engagement. Essentially, he was using the giveaway to farm growth for the channel, which and isn't unheard of, nor is it the worst thing on the planet.
Yeah.
But without any transparency about how many phones were going to be given away, as well as the many issues surrounding the process, it made many people consider his giveaway to be somewhat of a scam.
Fake
Later,
giveaway.
He did relaunch this giveaway, doing a much better job the next time, but the channel was now marked by a controversy that would not easily be erased. This incident broke the wall between what makes the tech review YouTuber niche function, and of course that is trust. But if this was the only time it happened, well, that wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world. That, of course, is not the case, otherwise it wouldn't be in this video.
There was more?
So on March 10th, 2020, Lewis uploaded a video featuring a Pablo Escobar fold.
And then somehow the price is insane. This one is listed at $549. The version that's out...
Oh, damn, look at his number. It dropped from 21 mil to like 16 mil.
Lined in these specs on Will's computer starts at $399 supposedly. I mean, that thing is like a legend. Let's be honest. This is like a legend. So if you carry that around and you actually got the Escobar fold...
It's a status symbol.
That's what the youngsters call a flex, Will. That status of that phone is like $2,000. Let's be honest.
This could be like
the Fold 2. Like, how was the phone marketed? Like, to just have like a criminal on there.
a Supreme thing.
What?
Supreme thing.
A product that if you watch this video, give...
Like, again, this is just... I don't know, I've talked about this before. It's like, if you want clout, and you don't got clout, but you got money, just buy it and buy like status symbols, the things that you didn't earn. And then in these people's minds, it's like, oh, I bought the cool thing. Now I'm cool. And I just use my money to buy it. That may work in real life. And honestly, I mean, shit. People are gullible enough to fall for it. So I can't even like knock it really, dude.
Gives off the impression is being hyped by Lewis and Unbox Therapy as a really good thing, and even promoting it to his audience. which would be really bad considering this phone turned out to be a massive scam.
Oh?
What Lewis
Please stop buying the foldable phone from Pablo Escobar's brother. Oh, wait. His Pablo Escobar's like brother actually made the phone, like his company or whatever, started selling it.
didn't tell his audience or make clear throughout was that this was nothing more than a Samsung Galaxy Fold with Escobar branding. His presentation, phrasing, and lack of critical analysis.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty lazy, or like he just simply didn't do enough research.
We're all in service of making viewers want to buy the device. He featured the company's website, calling out the low price numerous times,
Dang.
and otherwise gave the impression that it was a legit product to consider. The only disclaimer he gave was in the pinned comment that read, "This is an unusual product from an unusual place. There are more questions than answers. Proceed with caution. The Escobar Fold 2 folding smartphone is actually here. This is an unboxing of the Escobar Fold 2. Of course, a pinned comment is utterly useless compared to an entire...
Wait a sec. Oh my god. Fucking wires are like every which way. Something is going on.
Video. So it didn't take long for other reputable reviewers to get their hands on the device and out the company as a scam.
The behind the scenes part, which is the company that's trying to maybe sell some of them and also not ship most of them. They're trying to scam you. Is there way too many cases of people not getting their Escobar Fold for me to ever recommend you ever buy anything from this company? So don't.
On April 11th, Lewis made a response video to this controversy. He claimed that the product wasn't sponsoring the channel and that this was actually not...
Bro, this sound thing is killing me. This has been an issue with me for like the last month. I think my shit is too old. Oh my god, maybe there's too much dust in here. I don't even know, dude. Oh my god.
his fault and that people just misunderstood.
Unboxing the Escobar Fold 2. I have no affiliation. It's not a sponsorship.
During this video, Lewis labored the point.
It's an unofficial sponsorship. So on paper, it's not sponsored, but he probably just had like a face-to-face with him and just was like, hey, we'll pay you in like some other way, but just like sell this phone.
That they really didn't do anything wrong, which logically doesn't age very well when you consider they then deleted the Pablo Escobar phone video.
Oh,
what made things worse is that he repeatedly said people need to do their own research, which is a very tone-deaf thing to say.
Yeah.
When your audience almost exclusively watches you for you to do that research on their behalf.
Yeah.
And they trust.
I mean, if you apply that same logic in real life, people would not be able to get anything done because they're sitting there trying to do their own research on the history of XYZ business, the history on like how, like no one would buy anything then. Because everything that you have can literally be traced to someone somewhere doing something immoral. From the clothes you wear to the type of technology you have. Like there's only so many degrees of separation from you to you supporting a person that is doing something immoral. Maybe it'll be like 2 or 3 degrees of separation. Maybe it'll be like something as far as 4 or 5 degrees of separation. But wherever you put you want to put your line, like do your own research is completely tone deaf and is ridiculous.
Trust you to be the one informed on things that you show them on your channel. If your entire position within a community is to provide research and input on products that people may consider buying, showing them a product without clear disclaimers that the origin is suspect or being ambiguous about your promotion of that product is incredibly harmful to your responsibility to that community and makes you essentially surplus to requirements. Many fans were incredibly put off by this to the point where they completely stopped watching the channel, calling into question their credibility, trustworthiness, and of course whether or not this was an underhanded sponsorship. What people really didn't expect was that someone who was considered a voice of reason and expertise to tell them after the fact that if they got scammed, it was their own fault for not understanding sarcasm and not doing their own research.
This is sarcasm. Some people didn't pick up on that.
Now the biggest issue with the initial
Wow, and he's like, he's going to backtrack and like defend himself.
unboxing video was that it wasn't made clear the Pablo Escobar phone was just in fact a Galaxy Fold, which is a $2,000 phone that they were somehow then selling for $400 to $600, which of course is too good to be true and screams that it's a scam, as it would be physically impossible to get such a good deal. Lewis claimed in the response, explaining the situation, that they were very clear the phone was a Galaxy Fold, but his fans quickly pointed out that with clips like this, that was absolutely not the case.
The weight is the same, surprisingly.
Okay, you're just using your hands to figure out the weight. Just if you want to be like accurate, just like put it on like a scale, dude. Put it on like a little digital scale.
I almost feel like there's other components in here, but I don't know.
Now,
$5 says there's like a little scale like right behind the camera, and he's just.
It was clear to everybody that this phone was a scam. So to put out the video without massive disclaimers literally everywhere saying don't buy this, this is probably a scam, makes him completely negligible in this fact. In fact, even upon review watching the video, it does come off as a soft promotion, one that many people accused him of being paid to do. Whether or not it was a promotion, nobody really knows, of course.
It wasn't a promotion in the conventional sense of an ad or a sponsorship. It was probably like an unofficial soft promotion.
They denied it entirely. But even still, they essentially posted a video which caused some members of their audience to lose money. And the only reason to post a video like this, if you're not warning people about it, is of course to make the money from the ad revenue in the first place.
Yep.
Unlike Rice Gum, Unbox Therapy is still around and still making videos with great success.
Oh, dang.
Their numbers are much lower than they were before this fiasco, and it's hard to say if they ever will be again. Trust, of course, is a scarce commodity in the online tech space, and when a channel gets so big that they are now a business worrying about making money, it becomes much more difficult to distinguish what is being done for the good of the consumer or for the bottom line of the business, and those two things definitely don't go hand in hand. When you start tangling the two with promotions or deals with tech that you then promote, that's when everything can come crashing down. And now that there's so many channels...
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like sponsorships and ads. If you just take a sponsorship just for the money, but the product is like dog shit, well then, yeah, you kind of like break the trust like from your audience a little bit. But then if you like promote something and get sponsored by something like you really like, well then, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Saturating that niche, what need do they have for you? A lesson that Unbox Therapy should have learned, but judging...
And it's very easy because I've been like around the internet for a while. It's so easy to tell like who's just doing like a quick, easy cash grab versus like an actual like product like promotion that someone like legitimately likes.
From both times how they responded, it's hard to say they really took it to heart.
It was around 1.5 years ago that I started getting really deep into personal development and entrepreneurship.
Who dis?
And for better or worse, I usually have this pretty nasty habit of getting like super obsessed over things that I get into for as long as I can remember.
In his prime, Jake Tran was considered a YouTube mastermind, crafting thought-provoking and engaging...
I don't know who the hell Jake Tran is.
...documentaries every single week. The production quality was great, the storytelling was fantastic, and the angle that Jake took was one of a kind. So how did his channel go from this to a shameless cash cow that pumped out repetitive, low-quality videos?
What happened?
Well, to answer that, you'll need to understand who Jake is and what brought him to YouTube in the first place. The struggles and trials that Jake experienced in his early life would become the foundation of how he conducted business, and at the very core of it all, his relationship with money. Jake grew up poor and didn't have access to the finer things in life. His family had to cut a lot of corners to stay afloat and to make ends meet. These
Right, that sounds like most people.
Circumstances made him dream of a better life and gave Jake the hunger to make it big. Which is, of course, by no means a poor quality to have or a life goal that is inherently bad. This all depends on how you pair that with a strong ethical foundation. So getting into YouTube, Jake's story was that of trial and error. He went through a series of setbacks and failures on his journey to financial freedom. When he first started his channel, Ironwood Productions, it only reached 5,000 subscribers. At this point, he dropped out of college and started a freelance web development career. After a while, he tried again to make YouTube work. This time selling people on him, Jake.
I have no idea what that means, but I mean, it just seems like he's just trying and trying. So
Tran, a young man having the
anything
answers to
like
a
wrong
better
so far.
life, despite him searching for a better life himself. the classic confidence play, fake it till you make it. He was selling courses on how to get a $40 an hour work from home job, but it wasn't quite making ends meet as much as he hoped. So Jake began another YouTube chapter, the finance-focused video essay route that was going to change his life forever.
And if you are new to this channel and you enjoy the style of like visually pleasing videos for the business entrepreneur niche, be sure to click that big red subscribe button down below while you're down there as well.
He started—
Oh, wait. Why did the little subscribe button light up here? But the video is like from 3 years ago. They didn't even start doing that little light up subscribe thing until like a month or so ago. So what the heck?
Grinding away for months, putting out weekly videos that were seeing little to no success, until suddenly things started to explode in late 2021. Within a year, Jake had gained over 1 million new subscribers and was seeing monthly views in the tens of millions, resulting in hundreds of thousands of dollars in monthly advertisement dollars from YouTube's partner program, and more crucially, an inbox full of endorsement leads.
Oh boy.
This left Jake at a crossroads. He could go left, making amazing money, life-changing money, and continue to work hard for a long-term future. Or he could go right, make even better money for the short term, and promote things that most YouTubers avoid. Since you're watching this video, you know exactly where he went.
Yeah, he went with the short-term gain, probably. This is just like, if, I don't know, like I heard a saying like the other day, and I hate sayings, but it's like, if you don't, how'd it go? It was like, if you don't educate yourself about history, you're doomed to repeat it. It's like all these guys are just making like the same bonehead mistakes. They see a little cash, like they see a little money gain opportunity, and they pay it no mind, and they just do the thing, thinking nobody will catch them, nobody will call them out, and they just do it, and they just fall on their face. Is like the trend that I see.
He took the right turn, opted to go with the easy, fast money, and he let the greed get to him.
If you buy an NFT project...
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Of course, it had to be the NFTs. Oh, my God. How do you just fucking fail so hard? Oh. Source. I mean, it's hard to see this, but like, source from CoffeeZilla at YouTube. Of course, Coffee would get him.
Others tend to follow, pushing the price up. The hard part is catching onto these crypto whale hype trains early on, so you're not left holding the bag.
Wait a second. I want to make sure I have this right. I'm supposed to be able to make life-changing profits by catching a hype train early, but I have to make sure I'm not the one left holding the bag. This sounds a lot like a Ponzi scheme.
The promotions were always on the nose. He'd make a video about how gambling's evil, then he'd
play the no-lose lottery. Click the link below in description. Click the link below to get started. Click it. Jesus Christ, no-lose lottery? That sounds like a scam. Yoda. And this is like my adult brain making these and realizing all of this. Like, honestly, if I was a little kid and I just graduated from like YouTube Kids into like regular ass YouTube, I would be so susceptible to this. Not gonna lie.
Include a gambling sponsor. He talked about how the stock market was evil and include a stock trading bot sponsor.
Yeah, the stock market is evil, guys. Invest in NFTs. Invest in my coin. You can trust me.
Essentially, he was double dipping and using his audience as leverage to sell the problems he talked about in the videos.
Oi.
Though, of course, the unique aspect of Jake's content made some fans argue that it was entirely on brand, since he was not only telling stories about evil practices, but giving you a tutorial on how to do them yourself, which would make sense that he was now doing them. And this is, in fact, exactly what Jake said when he came under fire for the practice when called out by channels like CoffeeZilla. Exposed the hypocrisy of Jake's promotions, which brought us the now classic YouTuber apology, non-apology, where he said, "I apologize for nothing."
Jesus.
Smiley face.
he decided to go the Conor McGregor route. I want to take this time to apologize for absolutely nothing. Wow. He doesn't even realize that what he did was a scam, and he's like, he doubled down, like what is it called? Double downing? Doubling? He's doubling down on it. Like, what the fuck, dude?
He then goes on to say that he was going to push himself and that there was lots of cool stuff coming. But that cool stuff was actually the beginning of a meteoric downtrend in his viewership, which has seen him fall to views he had before his massive blow up in 2021.
Oh?
So the changes he considered to be cool involved the lazy automation of his channel. To be clear, no one knew Jake was writing all of his own videos or editing them, but at least they knew the brand.
I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world to like have like that. I mean, doesn't Mr. Beast do that kind of? I mean, he's got like a team to figure out like a thumbnail, a team to figure out like the video and the editing and the script and all that shit. It's not just Mr. Beast doing it by himself. No, he's got like some boys to help him.
And Jake Tran by his voice with the narration. Very quickly though, Jake was no longer part of his own videos. He was no longer the voice. Jake did appear in his own videos very briefly, usually just to read another greedy sponsor segment that sold something to his quickly declining audience. Something that would probably have been contractually obligated by the sponsors.
And it's always with the leather jacket. It's like, this isn't really like a flex, but it's kind of a flex. Whenever, I don't know, whenever just someone gets like a hold of some money and they start like just looking better, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a red flag to me.
Was the only thing he couldn't outsource to other people, whereas everything else was. Essentially what Jake had done was to prioritize profit over delivering a good viewing experience for his audience. After seeing the trend of a clear decline in viewership, Jake tried to stem the bleeding. He started to once again narrate his own videos, but still continued the trend of filling his description box with promotions for anything and everything related to making money for himself. Sponsors, affiliates, courses on how to make money, and more.
Jesus.
He even started posting videos even more frequently, making the monthly viewership decline look even more destructive in context. It's the classic losing sight of how you made it in the first place. And at this point, Jake's core fan base, who felt like they were watching a human with a YouTube channel, had mostly abandoned ship, leaving the man who refused to apologize during the hubris of his peak to ride it all the way down to the depths alone.
Dang.
But Jake does consider himself to be the villain of his own story, so instead of taking it lying down, he simply rebranded to a faceless new channel and continued to do exactly what he did with Jake Tran,
Evil Food Supply.
only now without his name or voice attached to it.
Oh shit. Oh man, I didn't even know. Shit, I could have been subscribed to this dude.
So even if you include the viewership of that channel as well as the main Jake Tran channel, they combined don't even begin to scratch the surface of the success.
And not gonna lie, this is like the crazy part about the internet. It's like, I don't know, maybe, I mean, it seems like this channel like does like okay. I mean, I don't know. Or wait, like what were the stats? I didn't even really see.
Oh, even if you
estimated monthly earnings like 200 to 3K. I mean, that's essentially like nothing really. It's not nothing, but it ain't like he's not gonna be out like getting sports cars with this shit. Estimated yearly earning income 36-ish, like 2 to 36K. That's just like nothing. And I don't know how this something like this can happen. Like if you as a person just do some scammy shit on the internet just somehow knows. Even if you make an entire like new account, like everything, new piece of new hardware, like make the new account on the new laptop, on the new computer, don't have anything associated with it, your voice, no nothing. The internet just knows, dude. The internet just fucking knows, not gonna lie. Because if this dude has nothing associated with him on this channel, there's no reason for this channel to be like sucking ass besides it having like bad content and nobody cares about it.
Include the viewership of that channel as well as the main Jake Tran channel, they combined don't even begin to scratch the surface of the success he had before, or of course the meteoric heights he could have seen had he continued down the path created by the innovation and hard work, without the immediate downfall caused solely by short-term greed. And there we go. Those are 3 cautionary tales of different ways to sell out once you reach the peak of your success.
AKA, don't be a scamming bitch.
Cashing in the check on your future longevity. A story that is as old as the platform, and one that is destined to be repeated whenever people put their vanity or greed ahead of who they were when they started, losing sight of what made them in the first place. A reminder that if you blow up being one person, you need to keep sight of who that person was, or risk losing it all, perhaps forever.
This is a good ass video. I love how Kira puts so much like work and effort into like every video. He does like, I've been watching him for a while and he just does such a good job. I love this shit, dude. Yeah, this is another like banger for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. And I want to see more. Until the next one, guys, I'll catch you on the later. All right. Peace.